Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. I am very, very happy to have my fellow Griffin, probably the most important Griffin, Steve Morgan, the president of Westminster College here. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thanks, Joe.
It's great to have you here. I've been interested in talking to you ever since you were put in position as president of the college, because, gosh, I don't know that there's been a guy who's come along who's been more prepared for that position than you. You've had every position up to it.
Well, I don't know if you're ever prepared to be the president, but I've been there a long time and had the privilege of working with 6 presidents and being at the college for over 3 decades.
Well, so. I was teasing you earlier that you weren't there for Manford Shaw, but I guess it was right after that, huh? It's amazing. 6
shortly
presidents.
Thereafter, yeah.
Good grief.
I was quite young when I started.
Manford Shaw was there up till 76, so just to put that in perspective,
right.
I'm teasing him a lot here. But no, what an incredible college, first of all. And as you said, that was what drew you to it, is just your experience with it ahead of time.
Right. I came as a young CPA that had just graduated from the University of Utah in accounting, and had the privilege of working with the firm that provide financial services and the audit,
right.
and I just got caught up in the people and the mission and the impact they were having on students. I saw the experience that students were having was different than the experience I'd had, and
right.
So when an opportunity came my way, I took it, and I never thought it would, I would spend my professional career at Westminster, but it's been such a rewarding experience for me.
Indeed. Well, when you speak of the rewarding experience for you, there's been a lot of rewarding experiences for students as Westminster has shifted through different types of approaches to learning. And one of them that's really interesting that's new is the WCore. Is that right?
Yeah, I think all of us that go to college have to take liberal education requirements, and what we've decided at Westminster is let's make that exciting and very different and more flexible, so students can package and put things together in unique ways, and extend it over 4 years. Not have it be something, well, I got to get it done in my first couple of years. So we'll launch in the fall we call it the WCore. We're really proud about it, and some of the courses you may remember from your days of Western civilization, philosophy and religions. We've packaged it up very different and made it a lot more interesting.
That idea appeals to me because it's very much like, if I understand this correctly, a lot like what young people are seeing earlier in their educational career now too. I see some of my kids come home and they've packaged together some of these courses where they'll do one project but it applies to both.
Right. There's
more integration. That's basically what we're talking about here, right?
Right. Westminster is a small, comprehensive university, but we still offer 47 undergraduate programs and 13 graduate programs, but we allow students to customize their majors. So you might get somebody with a business major that packages up a minor in the performing arts.
Wow.
And but you've got to do it in a way that it doesn't lengthen their time of education. We're very committed that a student finish in 4 years at Westminster.
Which is unusual in that world of education, isn't it? We see that a lot.
In fact, we even made a guarantee this year to all the freshmen that came. If you stay on course and listen to your advisor, you'll graduate in 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
I should say that it's impressive if you didn't know the folks over in the Start Center. But if you know the people that are
if you
there
listen to them, you will
know.
Graduate in 4 years.
Exactly. And they're really, really good at it.
Right.
I've had that experience myself. I know that there were times when I kind of wanted to do X, Y, and Z, and they're like, if you do X, Y, and Z, you're going to get to do all the letters ahead of it that you didn't think you had to do.
Right.
There were ways of getting other prerequisites in that fit better. There was timing with things that was very important. Right. If left to your own devices, you can stretch school out a little bit.
Right, and I think parents, when they make that investment, or even students themselves, it's a serious investment, their education. can we accelerate it using technology? Can we accelerate it using our strong power, our strong community of faculty that are committed to a student's success, and get them out in 4 years? It becomes more affordable. Because, the average student takes 6 years to graduate.
That's
today.
2 years more than you've budgeted for, right? That's what it boils down to. Let's talk a little bit about one of the things that really is a hallmark of Westminster, and one that the folks up here in Park City know a little better than most, and that is the combination of USSA athletes and the ability to go to Westminster College.
Right. Well, one of the partnerships I'm most proud of is our partnership with the United States Ski and Snowboard Association. When they came to Salt Lake and found their home in Park City, they really wanted to find an educational partner, and they needed a partner that was really flexible.
Yep.
And they came to Westminster. We were delighted to talk with them, and we saw they brought world-class athletes to our city and certainly to Park City, and they wanted a world-class education. And so we worked really hard to put together that partnership. And so over the last decade, we've had many of their athletes come to school at Westminster. We currently have 47 members of the U.S. Ski and Snowboard Association that are Westminster students. In the last Winter Olympics, we represented 10% of the entire United States Olympic team from Westminster students.
Wow.
And our students collectively won 8 medals. And so we would have been, I think, 14 on the country count.
There you go.
We actually hung banners that said, we're ahead of, these countries, and so we get very excited around the Olympics, and even in the non-Olympic years, these students go on and do fantastic things. The recent World Cup tournaments up here, our students were doing very well in those. So they bring an excitement to the classroom. When you're sitting next to one of these students, they have this world experience. They're very disciplined, but they're also really good students.
Yeah.
I mean, really, really good students.
And fun, too. I noticed that was the other, as you mentioned, when you're in the class with some of these students, and I was fortunate to have several.
Right.
It's inspiring, which is what I thought was interesting. They inspired other students.
Right.
In a way that is very genuine, and I think that's something special.
Right. You'll see them sitting in the cafeteria, and you'll get into small talk. What'd you do this weekend? Well, I was up at the Moguls World Cup.
Right. Or I was in
Were
St.
you
Moritz.
watching, or were you participating? And no, though I was participating, and so it's a partnership that's really valuable to our school. We're really proud of it.
That's awesome. Something that a lot of people didn't realize or don't realize is that Westminster has had an aviation program for years.
Right.
And it goes back quite a while. One of the first aviation programs in Utah.
Right.
Which is pretty special. But that aviation program has grown. It grew an awful lot back in 2006. I know that particularly.
Right.
But as it has grown, it has become a place where so many of the great aviators in Utah who go on to Delta, which has a hub here, that go on to other airlines, they come from Westminster.
Right.
And especially in the world of military aviation also, so many of them coming through Westminster College. And with all of that, you guys have a new hangar, a new partnership with Cessna. Tell me about that.
Well, you're exactly right. It's been it's quite unusual for a school like Westminster, a liberal arts institution, to have it's not unusual to have an aviation program, but it's unusual to have a flight school with it. And it started back in the 60s as an aviation program, and we believe that a pilot ought to have the benefit of a liberal arts education.
Right.
It stresses critical thinking and all those core skills that go beyond just
resource management.
Yeah,
another really important
all
part
those
of that.
things. And you're only a pilot as long as you've got good eyesight, and then all of a sudden, what do you do with your career? And so, somebody who is serious about flying comes to Westminster, they end up with a degree in aviation and the ability to be a pilot. And so we're really proud of that. And so we committed to a flight school thanks to some generous donations back in the
That's right.
in the early 2000s, and we're able to actually go out and buy an entire fleet of planes, which was
is where you
fantastic.
really separate yourself from other schools,
Right.
because then the excellence in teaching goes from the classroom to the aircraft, where other colleges would farm that out.
Right.
And who knows about the quality of that education.
Right.
With Westminster, you know what you're getting.
Right, and if you were to go to our Bill and WCore School of Business, you'll see the whole lower floor of that building dedicated to flight simulation and flight courses, and so they're learning management. They're getting that liberal arts core in what they're trying to do, and then we are fortunate to take them out to our new hangar
right.
out at the airport, and fly in planes that they also worked on in simulation, and American Airlines, Delta, SkyWest, all these great airlines are, look really seriously at Westminster to recruit their future pilots, and we think there's a pilot shortage coming that's going to be
there's a huge pilot shortage
incredible,
coming.
and so they're increasing their commitment to Westminster, and we're really thrilled that we were named as one of 4 institutions with this program with Cessna, where they've donated a brand new Cessna plane to us this year.
The Skyhawk.
The Skyhawk.
Wow.
And we just named it last week.
Okay. What's the name?
Officially, it's called Monty.
Monty.
Yep, Monty. And
Right.
and when a student gets to get in that brand new plane with all the new technology and fly it, it's a special experience.
Well, maybe you and I should have that experience. I'll take you for a flight, huh?
I'd like that.
You don't have your license, right?
I don't.
I do. So, and I got it from Westminster. So I'll take you up for a ride. How about that?
Love it.
I want
Love
to give
it.
that plane a
Love
little. We'll take Monty out for a little ride.
We'd
Maybe
love
go
it.
over to Wendover, grab some dessert or something, and come back.
Oh,
That's the
awesome.
best dessert. So I forget what we call that. There's lots of different names for the the $100 burger or whatever, where you fly to get the burger. Let's do it, shall we?
Love to do it.
Thanks so much.
Thanks,
Steve
Joe.
Morgan, Westminster College. If folks want to get some more information about everything that's going on there, maybe they've got a young student that's prospective, they can go to?
Absolutely. Just go to our website, westminstercollege.edu, or call Westminster, and you'll get personal attention from the day.
Clearly we do. You get the president of the college right here, so that's personal attention after all. There's a lot more coming up here on the Mountain Morning Show. After this quick break, we'll be right back.